Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's board report for the month of September. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the search for a permanent Commissioner of Education here in Missouri. Now that the State Board of Education has a quorum and can conduct business again, it is resuming the search for a new Commissioner of Education following the removal of Margie Van Dieven as Commissioner last December. The State Board of Education appointed Dr. Roger Dorson as interim commissioner at that time, and the State Board of Education President Charlie Shields told board members at last month's state board meeting there's no rush to name a permanent commissioner since the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education continues to function very well.
I think Commissioner Dorson is doing a fabulous job leading the department. So the last thought is that there's not a burning platform here that says we have to rush into any decisions regarding the commissioner. What I would ask, I think I asked you at the June meeting to think about the characteristics. I'd ask you not to report back on what you believe the characteristics are, but I would think to come back at the September meeting, report back on what you think those characteristics are, but also how you think as board members we should proceed in this discussion.
There was also some preliminary discussion at the August State Board meeting about the state funding request for the fiscal year beginning next July. Department of Elementary and Secondary Education staff is proposing the State Board request full state funding for student transportation over a 9-year period beginning next year. Right now, there's about a $200 million shortfall in state funding for student transportation. Local school districts have had to assume a greater share of transportation costs over the years as state funding in that area has declined. MSBA has advocated strongly for increased state funding for student transportation. MSBA President Mike Pratt testified on school safety issues during a recent meeting in Chicago hosted by Deputy Secretary of Education Mitchell Zayas. Pratt said there's a strong need for synchronization among agencies responsible for safety. He said states, as well as federal agencies with responsibility for school safety, need an effective program to immediately message down to school districts any high-level threat potentially impacting school children. Pratt also said there's a need to have assessment tools to understand and rank the full scope of school safety risk beyond just the active shooter risk. MSBA's recommendations will be provided to the Federal Commission on School Safety. MSBA administers the Center for Education Safety, the only statewide school safety organization in the state. CES is built on the premise that school safety is best addressed through a comprehensive, community-wide approach. A number of new state laws related to public education took effect at the end of August, as is often the case following the end of a legislative session in May. And that means MSBA's policy department has been working to create new policies or update existing policies for school boards throughout the state. MSBA Associate Executive Director Kelly Hopkins oversees MSBA's policy department, and she says policy updates are designed with a goal in mind.
Obviously, compliance. Obviously, legal compliance is the first thing we consider. We also want to include enough information in our policies that districts will understand what the law means and what their policy says without having to call an attorney, although they're welcome to call us if they have questions.
Hopkins says policy updates are also designed to support boards in making informed decisions and to protect school districts from making costly and damaging mistakes. The latest policy update from MSBA addresses a new virtual education law, elections, whistleblower protection, gifted education, school counseling, and other issues. All MSBA member school boards receive basic policy updates, while some 240 school boards throughout the state participate in a more customized policy service. MSBA's annual School Personnel Information Survey is now open. This survey collects information on the wages, salaries, and benefits of teachers and other school employees to help boards and administrators make fully informed personnel decisions. MSBA member districts that complete the survey and submit their salary schedules and collective bargaining agreements by November 12th this year receive free access to the data collected. Make sure your district's information is included in this year's database. Your school district staff can submit your district's information through the MSBA website. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.